Hey guys, this is Johann Quadros and today I'm going to teach you how to change the strings of an acoustic guitar. So if you would like to learn how that's done, come on, join the tutorial.
You will need your acoustic guitar of which you will be changing your strings. I am using the D'Addario EJ26 model of a string set. You can use any strings of your choice. You will also need a cutter to remove the pins. You can use any sharp object to do the same, and also a plier to cut the extra ends of the strings. Alright, to get started, first detune the existing strings with the tuner head machines, and do this for all the strings, all the 6 strings. Alright, now that we are done, the guitar strings are to be put in this sequence: the E, B, G, D, A, E, or string number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, we remove each of these pins so that we can remove the studs of the strings. It could easily come out, or you could use the cutter or the sharp object to just raise the pin heads. Do this for all the strings. Well, for most of the branded strings, they normally mention the codes, the color codes, which will match the studs of the strings. So you'll need to insert the strings accordingly. If not, the numbers are always mentioned on the cover of each of the strings as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's first start with the E string. It is coded as silver, and the second string B is coded purple. We'll go ahead and get started with the E string first. So insert the stud side of the string into the first hole and lock the string with the pin. Press the pin head nice and firm so that it holds the string securely. The other end of the string is passed through the small hole of the tuner head machine. You can leave a fair length of the string which will be wound around the tuner head. Secure the string under your fingers, the thumb and the index finger. Press it down firmly so that it gets guided well as it winds around the tuner head. Make sure you get a nice, neat turn around the tuner head. Be sure not to release the string from under these fingers until the entire loose end of the string is wound neatly around the tuner head. Wind the string around till it is fairly tightened. Make sure that every string that is fit in passes through these small little cuts on the bridge. There are cuts for each of the strings on the bridge. Next to go in would be the B string, or the second string of the guitar, color coded purple. Make sure you lock in the string with this notch on this pin head. Make sure the notch is aligned with the string. And repeat the same process. The winding for the E, B, and G strings will be done in a clockwise direction, and for the D string, A string, and E string, it will be done in a counterclockwise direction. Keep winding until this extra length of the string, which we had reserved to wind around the tuner head machine, turn it around till it is fairly tightened. Next to be inserted would be the G string and the D string, color coded as green and black. The G is the green string and D is the black string. Repeat the same procedure. Insert the stud of the string into the string hole, locking it securely with the pin head, and repeat the entire process again. Make sure you get a nice neat turn around the tuner head machine, and also be sure not to release these fingers while the string is being tuned until it is fairly tightened and the extra length of the string is wound around the tuner head. Make sure the strings pass through these little cuts of the nut as well. There are 6 cuts, one for each string. Next, we go ahead and insert the D string, color coded black. Next, we got to note that the rest of the strings, the 4th, 5th and 6th, would be wound in a counterclockwise direction. We'll follow the same procedure of locking the string under the fingers. This part is very important so that the string winds very neatly around the tuner head. The last strings to go in would be the A and the 6th string E, coded as red and brass. Let's go ahead and insert the A string. And finally, the 6th E string, which is coded as brass. At times you'll notice that with the stress on the strings, the pin head can sometimes come up, so just be sure to push it back in and make sure that they're all pressed. Now that we are done with the insertion of 6 strings, let's go ahead and do the dressing of these strings. Make sure the extra ends of the strings are pulled through like a loop through the hole of the tuner head machine. Once you have this little loop, just cut off the extra end of the string with the plier or a cutter that you may have with you. Now bend down the little end of the string so that it does not poke you. And go ahead and repeat the same process for all the other 6 strings. Now, since the rest of the strings are fatter as compared to the bottom 3 strings, they may not loop in through the hole, so you can just cut off the extra ends in this manner.
So this is how it's done. I hope that was useful for you. If you want to learn how to tune the guitar now, of course, like that would be the next step. I will be putting up another video up on YouTube on how to tune the guitar, so do watch that as well. Thank you so much for watching.